December 18th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Pacolet Town Hall.
We're gonna have to get away here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just in case it rains.
Yeah.
It's safer. The Christmas parade, we have set the date for the Pacolet Christmas parade for December the 11th, beginning at 10 a.m. We are now accepting applications to be in the parade. Applications can be picked up at Town Hall or filled out on our website. So far, we have 5 groups signed up to participate. Spartanburg Parks will be hosting a Winter Wonderland event at the T.W. Edwards Center immediately following the parade. And on the final page, you have the plans for the park at Pacolet Park. And then in conclusion, a little over 2 years ago, I walked into Pacolet Town Hall, timid, nervous, and eager. And I'm thankful every day that the Town Council at the time saw value in me and gave me the opportunity to become the Pacolet Town Administrator. I've learned and experienced more than I could have ever imagined. I've truly had some of the best days of my life here. Together, we have been able to accomplish many milestones that at one point I believe we all felt impossible. We have been able to lay the groundwork for the future success of Pacolet. All of this has made this decision a very difficult and emotional decision for me to make. I love this town, the employees, and the citizens, and I will cherish my time here. It's with a very humble heart that I would like to formally offer my resignation, effective December 3rd, 2021, as I will be pursuing an opportunity with the City of Clemson to become their next Assistant City Administrator. I cannot thank you all enough for the love and support you all have given me while I've been here, and I would appreciate your continued support and prayers as I begin this new chapter in my career. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tonight, short and sweet. Just touch on a few things. Noticed we had a definite uptick in calls for service this past month. We were up to 172 for the month of October. That's, since I've been here, that's by far the largest we've had. With that being said, just want to touch on a couple of different things. Kind of printed off a couple of things, just comparing to where we were last year. And of those 172, there were 52 reports made, along with 9 arrests. The offense reported, which is all reports taken, this time last year we were at 366. This year we're up to 440. So we definitely, we are actually seeing something. I don't know if you want to say it's good or bad. But we're actually starting to see people, we're actually starting to talk more, report more, starting to use the 911, so we're actually seeing things on that end change and go the way that it should be going.
Can I interrupt you?
Yep.
Maybe you can touch over what those reporting systems are for the public.
You mean as far
Maybe
as?
just say, like, you know, how to contact, how to report, so on and so forth, so that everybody understands, you know, how to text in something and how to email something. You see my point, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
essential because we had a lot of questions
Right.
Saturday that there was just seemed like a lot of people didn't understand how to get a hold of and how to report anonymously.
Yeah, and I can reiterate and I can refresh it on the town side and on the police side about the tip line, the anonymous tip line we have. Call, leave a message, or they can simply text. That's all they got. They don't have to leave a name or anything of that nature. The number will be protected. Obviously, you know, anything else that they need to get in touch with us, obviously, it's going to be 911. Obviously, going to be the quickest and easiest way. You know, I know we still get a lot of questions and people ask us a lot. Well, I didn't think it was an emergency to call 911, but the way we tell them, when in doubt, just simply call 911. The 911 taker will determine if it's an emergency, if it's something they can put them to somebody else and take more information. But it's as simple as that.
And I think it's important that the public understands that when you call 911, it's absolutely the first thing you need to say, like, this is an emergency, or it's not, or this is a non-emergency. Like, it is important to tell the operator, This isn't an emergency, I just like report something, so that they understand what they need to do from that point.
Right.
Whether they need to react, or whether they need to get somebody else on the line, or start, finding an officer to come that way immediately, or an ambulance, or, it's important that people understand how to use 911. Not that everybody doesn't, but you never know. 911 is, as you said, it's there to record and help and send somebody if necessary, but also take information as well.
Oh, yeah, and they're gonna ask right off the bat, what the emergency tells them, police, fire, or EMS.
Exactly.
They're not gonna sit there and tell you, oh, this is emergency, it should be called. They're gonna take their information, excuse me, they're gonna take care of it.
Right.
With that being said, like I said, just touching on a couple of things, we had, 3 different types of assaults this past month, one of them being assault battery of high aggravated nature, which was a pretty serious offense. All 3 resulted in arrests. We had 2 stolen vehicles that resulted in arrests and recoveries, and a missing person. We haven't had one of those in a while, but that resulted obviously in that we found the person. One of the biggest things we noticed this past month with a lot of the call volume that we had was there was a lot more serious type of offenses where there was a lot of man hours logged and a lot of investigation work. And so there was a lot of time spent on that, working with the solicitor's office on a couple of these cases. And I'll have to say on the assault and battery, Sergeant Snow was the one that handled one of the high and aggravated nature, I'm sorry. Sergeant Snow handled that when the solicitor's office actually called and bragged about the work that he put in on that, how he put it together. So I met with one of their investigators for lunch yesterday. He's been around for a while, and to brag on the town and to brag on my office at the police department, they said that this is some of the best paperwork and thoroughness they've seen out of Pacolet Police Department in a long time. So that they were very, very ecstatic to see how we're putting our stuff together, working with them and getting them the type of information that they need to prosecute the cases. So everything was looking really good. That being said, we received a small grant from a company. They're going to be able to purchase and supply us with trauma first aid bags that would go into each one of our patrol cars. So hopefully we should be receiving those funds, she said, roughly in about the next 4 to 6 weeks. The new vehicles that we purchased, we picked them up finally after many, many months of wondering if we would ever see them. So they are at the upfitter right now being outfitted, and hopefully they will be done soon, and the guys will be rolling in those. Just a couple other quick things. This past month, we worked a little more on some code issues we had. Let's see, we had 3 animal at large code issues we've been dealing with. A couple of the code violations to do with just issues around the house, like, trash, litter, that type of thing. But we actually had 2 issues for harboring dangerous animals, and actually 2 of the warrants that we signed on that are actually felonies, to where one of the animals actually attacked one of my officers here a few weeks ago. So even though we still have issues with animal control, trying to get help out of them, after that issue, the director and myself had a long talk about that, and he was very sorry that his officer kind of blew my officer off that Saturday, not trying to help him. And when I called him back, and again, we had a nice conversation about it, so he said they're going to try to work a little harder on trying to help us a little more with animal control issues. So
That's awesome.
hopefully we'll get, like I said, more help out of that and a little guidance, because most town officers, that's not what we deal with. We don't know what type of charges they are, because that's always been animal control. So they will try to help work with us on guiding us on what we need to do when it comes to charging people for this type of situations. So.
Our part-time code officer, he is in training, or will be in training this week?
He starts next week,
Monday.
Monday. Yes, he'll start with, I think it's like City Wood, right? And working with them on that, so we'll get that going. And just a quick word, just wanted to say congratulations to Miss Allen, I miss her a lot. But I just want to say this, personally, I think it is a really big deal for going from a small town like this to a nationally recognized city of Clemson. personally, I think that reflects on the town of Pacolet. So I just want to congratulate her. I know we're going to miss her, but it's been a joy to work with her because she's been the catalyst that has made so much happen around here. Most definitely. That's all I have.
Virginia, work.
Thank you.
Okay. Comments?
Just to kind of reiterate a little bit about what she just said. I'm sad, but it's also a bittersweet thing for me, and I know probably for us too, because Miss Ellie come to us just fresh out of college and, you know, full ball of fire, and she's just done so much for the town in the 2 years that she's been here, and I'm just so happy for her at the same time, and I'm glad she cut her teeth here on the town of Pacolet, but she won't never forget us. It was her jumping, stepping stone to, and I know she's gonna go even further than the city of Clemson. We're gonna go a long way. I'm gonna miss you. Thank you, what you have done for the town of Pacolet. You're go-getter, you jumped in, you got things done. I can go on and on, but I'll stop here.
I do, I don't want to feedback on what, council, said, and the chief, but she is gonna be missed. I think she did one of the greatest jobs in our city. You know, when you put knowledge with communication, and you put unity, and you put all these things together, you're gonna have a good person that's really gonna get the job done. And that's what she's done. Only thing I can say, I can encourage our council, especially our new council, go and get trained. Because when I first came on council, I was just like, oh, didn't know. But on last month, I attended last month on no policy. And I felt really bad because I think I was the only one in another small town in Pacolet. And all the other little towns had all of their people that been in the classes and fixing to have graduation for the first time. So I will graduate for advanced in February. But we have to be like Sister Calvin. Go and get trained and have knowledge and know how to and have more unity and we work together as a team. And I think we'll be this and I know she will be feel good to see us do this. Because this is what we need. We can sit here and talk about all of the time, but put it into action.
I'm not gonna touch on that one because I want to make sure she's here for something. So, of course, everything you do is always great, and I appreciate that. Chief, the Jag Grant, great job. But I do want to say, Mr. Lyles, I appreciate all you do for this town as well, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You do a wonderful job and you help as much as you possibly can. I look forward to anything else you ever want to do. What
Thank you.
you're already working on, so.
Help us with this grant.
Absolutely, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we would look towards that, so.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I just want to add this. Last month, I mentioned that I was in this class in Columbia, policy meeting, and I was bragging about, Allie, how beautiful, great job she's doing. And then when I read all that, I said, oh, did this come from this?
Good job, too.
Yes, I know I'm new, but Allie, I'm not gonna harass you. I email you, always quick to respond, I call you, always point me in the right direction, I'm going to contact. I wish you the best.
We still have Tony.
Tony, yeah.
She always
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
thank, everyone